Well, if you had trouble paying your utility bills last year, during the winter when you get high utility bills, this year's going to be worser. That's what the forecasters are saying, and actually, the government's even trying to prepare for it, and get more grant money out there for these programs that pay for, utilities for heating, because that's when, like, I think, like 50 to 80% of your bill for the year is during the summer. Now, here's an article. The graph here you see on my screen. I see natural gas went up. This is like 2021. How much that went up? Heating oil, propane, all these things went up, and that means when you have to start paying high bills, they're going to be even higher still. And they're worried about that as the elected officials are trying to get more money out that to pay these things. I'm going to tell you where you should start looking now, so you get those grants to pay for it this summer. You get signed up, and because a lot of it is like a zero sum game. There's only so much money. So if it goes, that's why you want to get signed up early. But let me go through this article a little bit for you. Um, Let's see. Okay, it says with consumers already dealing with the fastest prices increase in decades, another unwelcome uptick is on the horizon. A widely expected increase in winter heating bill expected to increase after plunging during the pandemic as the global economy slowed. Energy prices have soared upward. Natural gas used to heat almost half of the U.S. household has almost doubled in price since this time last year. National gas has almost doubled in price since last year. The price of crude oil, which deeply affects about 10% of the um, households that rely on heating oil and propane during the winter, prices have soared by a similarly eye-popping levels. Now, I don't know what eye-popping level is, but they tell you a little later. In the United States, the winter months account for 50 to 80% of residential fuel consumption. So that means half to three quarters of your bill is paid during the winter months, unless you live in Florida, I guess. There is a significant chance consumers could face a marked increase in prices for heating, says this energy expert. Last winter was warmer than average, which led to residential energy bills that were comparatively low. This season, heating costs could rise to levels not seen in a decade. Even if there isn't a severe winter, several factors, including lower fuel in inventories, incentives for producers to let prices rise, and a mismatch between supply and demand, are a combination that push these higher prices. See, it's all part of the markets are doing this, and apparently the energy industry didn't make so much money last year, the last couple of years. So when the prices go up, they don't want to put in more supply because that costs money. They'd rather just get the profit with higher heating oils. Um, let's see. Okay, so this Mark Wolf, executive director of the Energy Assistance Directors Association, and that's the association of managers that run these nonprofit programs for the government that give out aid. He said a group of state officials administering aid to low-income homes. He says that living paycheck to paycheck or just trying to save aren't going to be soothed by the complex explanations about inventory levels, supply chains, and global demand. Now, we don't care about that thing. We just got a higher heating bill. We got to do something about it, right? Okay. Uh, okay. But the Northeast and northern plains, as well as rural areas nationwide, are more dependent on heating oil and propane. Okay, heating oil and propane. So that's going to be 50 to 100% increase from last year. Heating oil and propane, 50 to 100%, actually 59 and 94%. So that's almost double the price this year. So that could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? That's going to happen here. And so there's the low income home energy assistance program. That's the number you want. That's the program that has money for people at certain income levels that give you grants to help pay for that. So they're trying to get more money into that. But I say you want to apply now to get on the list to get this, because if they run out of the money, then you can't get on the list. Okay, and Let's see. It received $5 billion extra emergency grants this year, and he said the group has urged Congress to include a $5 billion more for the program in the social safety net programs that's being negotiated now. So they're trying to put more money in the new Biden thing that they're still discussing on the United States. I mean, in the Congress. According to the projections by the U.S. Energy Information Administration, if winter is somewhat colder than usual, energy bills could run as high as 15% more, 15% of households heated by electricity. And those dependent on natural gas, and 59% of those mostly using heating oil. Propane users are 94%. Okay, now here's another data. Data everywhere, not a thought to think. 29% of those surveyed by the Census Bureau have reported reducing or foregoing household expenses to pay an energy bill in last year. Okay, so that's like 30% of households had to cut spending in order to pay an energy bill last year. So this year is going to be worse, right? So you got to be careful. Okay, now here's an interesting story, and this is a story about a woman in Buffalo who found help to get her energy bill paid. And listen closely, because it shows how she went to the government program, didn't work. She went to a nonprofit. The nonprofit got the money from the government program for her. And that's what you can't take no. If you take no, it's a no go. So you have nothing to lose by keep checking. Okay. So let me show you this, because this is a good case study on what you may have to do to get the money. When you go, hey, okay, we're giving out this money, you go there and say no. Okay, you don't stop there. See, because it's too hard to know everything. And that's why you talk to people who are in the business doing this every day. Not just you parachute in for one day because you had the problem and expect to get everything. No, everything is a little more complicated. And that's why you find another expert who's free, because you only talk to nonprofit organizations or other government offices. You don't go to Google and find that. And they know how to work the system. And they went back and got the money for her. Okay, listen to this. Okay, this woman called Jamelia Grayson, 43 years old, in Buffalo, had a successful event planning business. Her work dried up, and even her unemployment insurance, she couldn't meet. Even with unemployment insurance, she couldn't meet household expenses while supporting, listen to this, an 8-year-old daughter who has sickle cell anemia, as well as an older aunt who depends on a home oxygen tank that lives with them. So this woman had a job that she lost. She has an 8-year-old daughter with sickle cell anemia, and an aunt living with her who needs oxygen tanks. This is the backbone of our society. It's just getting so. I mean, at least what I see, and Let's Go Help, so many members are in the same position. Boy, they're caregiving to 2-3 people in 2 different generations, trying to make a buck, and the house caves in on them. Electricity and gas bills piled up with her, and by the end of the summer, she owed $3,000. Okay, she applied for funds from the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. I'm talking about that for a long time now. Part of the American Rescue Plan passed by Congress in March, which eligible renters can use to cover their utilities. See? But the paperwork was so long, it was so hard. So, as my last resort, I'm like, okay, let me just try Catholic Charities. That's a nonprofit organization, one of them. There's many. There'll be lots of places like this, no matter where you live. Within 3 weeks of reaching out, she received a letter from Catholic Charities of Buffalo notifying her that its staff had helped her get approval for a $3,600 grant to address her unpaid gas and electric bills through the New York government. So she couldn't do it, and they did it for her. So, but she didn't have to hire a consultant would charge her $3,000 to do it. So that was crazy. Okay, the woman estimates that half her neighbors are struggling to some degree to cover bills along with rent, especially since the federal supplement to unemployment benefits has expired. And she said She hoped more of them found some measure of help as she did. You might have to do some research, but there are people who are helping. See, that's what I'm trying to tell. So you run into an idiot or you run into brick walls or whatever, man. There's still people out there helping, and that's what to me is so exciting about Let's Go Help. It's not only me that's trying to help. There's only so much I could do. That the members are helping. Man, this is like the member letter I read the other day. See, they come back with this story. So how the member got $40,000. She explained all the programs she got it, how it got it, and whatever, and what a pain in the ass it was too. But she got $40,000. How you could take a lot of pain for $40,000, right? Okay, power companies. Mr. Conrad, some expert here, said March are bracing for the March wave. Everybody's going to wave goodbye in March? I'm not sure. Of missed payments and requests for grace periods. So that's what I see. All the electrician companies, the power companies, March is the time the bills are piling up. You know, you couldn't pay in January, you couldn't pay in February, now March, you're looking for an extension, all that kind of stuff. Especially since moratoriums on utility payments have expired in many states. Although in many instances, it may be against a state law for a utility company to cut off customers during winter. Some people are going to be on the hook. In some cases, thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay. So that's about the end of that. So, okay, now let's where to start applying for that. Okay, now here's what the program, and I just, it's LIHEAP, LIHEAP, HEAP, HEAPLI, low income HEAP. There's a low income HEAP, and that's Department HHS. That's where it is, hhs.gov. Now, but you don't want to go to HHS because HHS has a website I'll put in the description of where to search by your state of where to go and apply to it. And it's usually by, we got to go to a state here. So I'll put in Alabama. Then you see, you choose a county. Okay, see, it has every county, wherever you are, and where to apply. So that's pretty cool. So that's where to apply. Okay. Now, what's interesting, the same office has this. Listen to that. I didn't know about this. Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. This is for your water bill. Low Income Household Water Assistance Program by the same HHS people who do the Low Income Energy Assistance. There's Low Income Home Energy Assistance. There's Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. Don't know why one is home and one is household. Household means that I guess you don't have to own the home, right? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, but no, what the hell's the difference? No, you're a renter. I don't know that. I don't trust me there. Never trust me. You go out and get the information yourself. I give you enough links, so you go out and check me because the way I do so many things, I'm so goddamn old. I make more mistakes than I can count. So Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. So that's for your water bill because maybe the other one, the energy doesn't cover water. So now you got water and energy, you got propane, you got water, heating oil, all that kind of stuff. And don't forget, heating oil and propane, you're going to get socked this year. Okay. So be careful. Apply for these programs now. Okay. So you have that one website for the low income HEAP. And now here's another place to go, the back door to do it, is go to the communityactionpartnership.com. I know it's a .com. Now, this is that's okay. This one's okay. Because this is an association of all the people who hand out free money in all the states and counties and everything. That's called the community action agencies. And this is where you could find your community action agency. See this up here? Local community action map. Okay, you go there, and that's a shortcut. You could do the HHS thing or do here because they run most of these programs in all the states. Okay, and that's what's important. So, in other words, government money goes to nonprofit, and all these community action agencies are nonprofit organizations. But the organization that is over all of them to manage them. There's always exceptions to anything. Okay, so you have that. You have the water. You have utility. Gas prices are all going to go through the roof this winter. So start protecting yourself up now. Okay, in the morning. I don't know where it is where you are, but it's like Monday night, Tuesday night here. So Wednesday, you get up, you go to this map on the Community Action Partnership, and you say, okay, where the hell do I live? You put in your zip code, 20895, and if you're not online streaming like I am, there it is. There, Montgomery County Community Action Agency. You call them. Hey, what do you got to help pay my heating bills? What do you have to help pay my water bills? That's what it takes. And they say nothing. Oh, we have anything. Did Lesko tell you that? Nah, he's full of baloney. We don't have that stuff. Well, he's just lying. Well, then you ask him, well, then who does? Where can I get help? Because they do this all the time. They're helping people with financial problems every day of their lives, 9 to 5. You have it, and you're calling these people once, and you can't expect to know everything. It's a complicated life out there. We're all individually complicated. So imagine you multiply that by 350 million people, whatever the hell we have. You got a lot of potential complications. So that's why you got to need help. And so call, like that video I did the other day, or the one before this one, actually, you can probably see it up there now, about Andrea, who just couldn't get anything until she started calling. And that really what changed everything, her getting her $40,000 she needed when her income dropped like 80%. She had a child and a sick husband and everything. And that's what you have to do. You do what you have to do in life. And you just have to start learning that, hey, it's going to be a little harder than you thought you had to do. That's the key to all this. Well, just you do that voodoo that you do so well. Just keep doing it.